Hello little acorns. I hope that you're all okay today and ready to do some maths. I can't remember whether I have done a measuring video or not. I can't remember anything anymore. I haven't seen you for so long. I can hardly remember what we've talked about on our videos and what we haven't. So I thought we'd do a bit of measuring because our story this week, and I thought we'd do a bit of learning about trees. And what do trees have lots of? They have lots and lots of sticks, because as the tree trunk turns into branches and the branches turn into smaller and smaller sticks as the tree grows. And sticks are amazing for measuring. So if you have a look at my sticks here, some of them are longer and some of them are shorter. So if you have a look, now when you're measuring, it's no good, and I sort of remember saying this before, which is why I think I might have done a measuring video, but never mind, measuring's quite tricky, so we'll talk about it again. When you're measuring, it's no good putting those sticks like that, if I just had those two sticks, and then saying, this stick is the longest. Well, it isn't. You can see it isn't the longest stick, but because I've put them in different places and I haven't put this little stick in the same place as the end of this stick, it's poking out over the top. So it needs to be or over the bottom. So when you're measuring, you must start your measuring things in the same place. Now, if I put them both to the edge of the piece of paper, it's really easy to see. This one is the longest, this one is the shortest. But what about this one? I've put him in the same place to start measuring. Oh, he's not the longest stick and he's not the shortest stick. He's in between both of them. He's an in-between stick. But what about this one? Now this stick is a little bit bendy because sticks do bend. But if I put one end of him in the same place as the other sticks, you can see, hang on, he's a little bit longer. He's a little bit longer than this stick. So I think he should go over there as the longest stick. Then this stick is the next longest. And then if I swap these two over, this one is the next longest stick. And this little stick is the shortest stick. So maybe in your garden or when you go out for a walk, you could get some sticks, lots of sticks, and you could lay them out. Maybe you could draw a line in your garden with a piece of chalk or something, and you could lay them outside on the ground and see which stick you think is the longest and which is the shortest. Now I'm going to send Mummy a little sheet with some caterpillars on, so you can do some measuring with sticks, but also, I'm going to send Mummy these funny little caterpillars. Some of these caterpillars are longer and some of these caterpillars are shorter. So the first thing I'm going to do again is put their little heads all in the same place so I can have a look at them, because I mustn't try and measure them if I don't know that they're all starting in the same place. I'm going to put their little heads all in the same place. Let's have a look. I'm not going to use all of them if I can't fit them onto my piece of paper. We'll just have a selection of them. There's another little caterpillar and there's another caterpillar. So let's stop there. Oh my goodness, right, this is tricky. Can I squeeze one more in? So have a look with your beady looking eyes, and just with your eyes, have a think which caterpillar looks the shortest, or which ones look pretty short. And I'm looking straight away at these two. They look the shortest to me. So I'm going to move some of my longer caterpillars out of my way, because I'm going to put stick shortest to longest. So I'm going to get my two that I think are the shortest, and I'm going to put them next to each other. Let's put him there, and let's put him there. Now I'm looking at just the two of them, and I've got their heads in the same spot on the edge of the paper. Uh-oh, I've got them the wrong way round. This one is the shortest, isn't it? So he would go at the top, and you can get a glue stick and you could glue these down, but don't glue them down straight away. Keep moving them around with your fingers. So I think he's the next shortest. Now I have to put all my caterpillars back. Let's have a look. Which one is looking like it might be the next shortest? Well, this one's quite short. These are longer, aren't they? They definitely look longer. But what about him and him? So I'm not sure. So I'm going to move my longer ones down a bit because they look like they're even longer to me. And he looks a bit longer, doesn't he? So I'm going to move him as well. And then I'm going to have a look just at these two. Let's have a look. Which one is a little bit shorter than the next one? I think actually just by fiddling, I've actually moved them all around into the right place, because look, we've got the shortest, a little bit longer, and then a little bit longer again, a little bit longer again, a little bit longer again, and because I moved the two longest ones to the bottom, it gets a little bit longer. Now if I wasn't sure, if I'd had this one here and this one here, again, I'd just look at them where their heads are, make sure their heads are in the same place, and then I'd have a look and think, uh-oh, even though they're almost the same length, his little bottom is sticking out a little bit further than his little bottom. So he is a little bit longer. Can you see? So I would stick him right at the bottom, and I would stick this caterpillar here. And I think that by the time you've done all the cutting and sticking, see if you can move them around before you start sticking them down. You've ordered the caterpillar in order of length. So we've got the shortest, then they get a little bit longer, 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 longest caterpillar. So you've ordered them. You've put them shorter to longer. Now before you stick the caterpillars down, or no, actually maybe after you've stuck them down might be a good idea. And I know this is a bit tricky because you might not have these at home, but at school we've got some cubes. Now you could use Duplo cubes or any little counters. If you had little counters, you could use counters. As long as you measure using something that are all the same size. So these are all the same size. So now I can measure this caterpillar by putting the cubes on top of him. And I think I did do a measuring video. I'm sure I did, little acorns. I sort of remember doing this. But look, I think that little caterpillar is about 1, 2, 3 cubes long. He's 3 cubes long. So let's measure this one. Let's do a different one. Let's fix our cubes together. Keep going until you get to his bottom. Keep going. Keep going. Ooh. Do I do another little cube? I think I will. Okay. So this caterpillar, we know it's longer. It looks a bit longer. But now we definitely know it's longer because this caterpillar is 1, 2, 3 cubes long. And this caterpillar is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes long. And if you've got some cubes or some bricks or some counters, you could, even pennies actually, you could fit pennies on the top, and you could measure your caterpillars and you could write the number here if you wanted to. Don't forget to go outside though and do lots of measuring on the ground with lots of lovely sticks. Okay, and actually, you know, I had the lovely fir cones for our video all about making a bug home. I should have brought those. If I move my caterpillars, if you had some fir cones at home or something, you could get your stick and then you could measure it using fir cones. How many fir cones long is my stick? So have fun measuring. Your mummy might have one of these at home, a ruler. There are lots of things that you can measure. You can measure yourself by standing on the scales. If you're Mrs. Hampshire, that's not very enjoyable. But you could measure yourself by standing on some scales. They measure you. And do you remember when you go to the shoe shop to get new shoes? They measure your feet. And you can do measuring with a ruler. And if you've ever had somebody come round to your house to do a busy job, they always sort of do some measuring. If Mummy was having a new kitchen, they would do measuring with their tape measure. So measuring is super, super important. So have fun, have a lovely day, and keep doing lots of those number jobs. Well done, everybody. Bye.